Welcome to Love Them Knives Podcast. I'm all alone. Nobody wants to be on with me. Just kidding. Uh, Leon, send him over to Asia. He's gone. He'll be back. But he's over right now. I'm visiting David at Riyadh. I told him just go through the warehouse and grab an armload, bring it back. Wish. Okay, so Leon, he went over with family members at first, of course, to visit Malaysia, which is where he came from. I mean, when he was 9 years old, they moved to New York City, but he was born in Malaysia at the time, and his parents are from there, although they're of Chinese descent. So Malaysia, his mother's still alive, sister, I think a niece, and then they've got family members over there. So doing all that, he loves the food in Malaysia because it's a mix of all kinds of cultures, and he's a foodie. Okay, and so then on to Bangkok, I think it was Thailand, and then that's great food and interesting culture, all that too, and then they came back to the U.S. and he went on for another 2 weeks to visit with David and do some other stuff over there. I think he's going to visit some other manufacturers as well and just check things out. And it'd be interesting to be able to do that. And of course, the city is Guangzhou or something like that, which used to be Canton, I think. So Leon does speak Cantonese, okay? But of course, that's not the national language. But in that area, a lot of people do still speak Cantonese. So, he's got some language skills for over there. But I'm sure it's a lot of fun and it's a getaway. And, just he likes the food. You would think he likes to eat that. He's been sending a lot of pictures of snail heads and rotted chicken eggs or so, I don't know, scorpions on a stick, but he doesn't eat any of that. He's even more meat and potatoes than I am. He likes steak, beef and pork, but he's not eating the, raw fish or any of that stuff. He doesn't, which is interesting, right? He's the only Asian guy I know that really just doesn't like most of the kinds of dishes like that. But he loves barbecue, and I have to agree with him on that. That's really good. Okay, we're having this podcast. I'm doing it because I wanted to talk about a few things. And number one, we have a winner. This is it. For the last giveaway, and the last giveaway was a bunch of stuff. We have this big pack here, whatever it says on that tag, but this is a big old kind of a fanny pack thing, and there's that wallet, and then there was this Benchmade, and then of course I was making fun of this knife, which was Tac Force, which is just a fun giveaway, but. And then SRM, and this is a really nice knife. This really is, and does it say what it is? Somewhere in here it says what it is. But that's way cool. Hold on, let me kick it open. See, that is, wow, that's nice. Why am I giving that away? I don't know. Which is another thing I want to talk to you about in a little bit, because we're coming up on 50K subscribers, and we're going to have a big giveaway, and I've got manufacturers involved, at least donating some swag and some other knives and stuff. An Olight field guide thing. We got the big tack ray for, kitchen, whatever, etc. usage. And one of the little utility folders with kind of a crossbar lock thing. And of course, your Riyadh EXO for children, whatever. I'm surprised the number of guys that said they already have one of those. And then the knife case from Kaiser, a Kubi knife as well, which, this is quite a price package. Okay, there. And what else have we got? And then we've got this little thing from uh, Kershaw. I'm sorry, Kershaw, a little kind of multi-tool thing. And then we got a Tucson knife, but it's not really a knife. It's a bottle opener thing. So in case you got a cold beverage, you can open it up with the Tucson cold beverage opener, and it locks down at least, so that's good. And let's do this. Okay. And there was a real wallet in here. This is a little carbon fiber wallet that's just holds a couple of cards and your driver's license or something. So there's that. So those are the prizes. And here's the winner. If I can get all this stuff together. It is Steve Pickering 2360. Okay. Oh, missed it. You didn't miss it. You didn't miss it, dude. You didn't miss it. So I'm going to put, let's hope he lives in the USA because I ain't shipping this overseas. In fact, I think the last time we did a podcast, we did say no international winners allowed because I just spent a ton of money sending something over to, I can't remember where it was, Eastern Europe somewhere. So I think was it Serbia, Belgrade, something. So no, USA only. And down below this podcast, just put your comment. That's it. That's all you have to do. Well, I mean, subscribe to this channel. I mean, at least. Okay, so then we have a new giveaway. So what are we going to have for our new giveaway? And here's what we're going to do. You get a koozie. You get the PVC glow in the dark patch. Okay, you get that. You get a Gerber chonk. Okay, which does all kinds of things. See all that? Yeah, multi-pry bar and bottle opener and all kinds of things. So I kept it a little more simple this time, okay? And I've had this for, I don't know, 4 years or so, just sitting in a box. Bama Zhao. Of course, everybody, they know it's so popular, Bama Zhao. Everybody knows their name. It's got a little tag in here, microfiber, the tool, okay, and the ever lovely Bama Zhao knife, which has got multicolors here, and then obviously titanium pocket clip and backspacer, and here it is. Yeah, and you know what? I bought this off of AliExpress 4 years ago or 5 years ago or whatever. And then I had lost track of it, and I found it in my box of shame. And my box of shame is clones and stuff that were sent to me, or I had, or whatever came by them, however, that I had sent in for testing a time or two. And then a lot of people just said, I don't need it back. I'm just curious or whatever. And so I've got this box of shame. Every once in a while, I get into it, and when friends come visit, and they'll buy one or two, so slowly trying to decrease it. But this was in my box of shame, but this is not a clone of anything. It's just, okay. So, okay, this, the chonk, and the Shanzhou. This was the first knife that they sent me, and I still haven't done a review or anything on it. And I've talked to another Instagram, YouTube reviewer about this knife, but this is the Shanzhou or Shanzhou. And when I do my review, I'll tell you the type of steel. It's they have a specific name for it, but it's basically kind of like a VG10 type thing, I believe. Okay. But this wasn't behaving as well as I had hoped. And so then they sent me a different one. And so this is the less fit and finish one that I had complained to them about. But it feels fine now. Maybe just took some breaking in. So you get to Shanzhou. And one other item. I know nobody's familiar with this. Yes, Spyderco. Does anybody own one of those? And yes, the Endora. So, is this a VG10? Probably is, because they were, right? And until they didn't, but the standard one, I think, is made in Japan, VG10. So, hey, you're good, right? Okay, so, you get one good knife. This one's, I think, Blade HQ, these are right at 100, 110, something like that. And then this is probably a $40 banger. I'd say this is more like a $50 banger with the titanium pocket spacer and pocket clip. And then, chong, and this, and one other thing. The last but not least is you get a choice. You can get the trucker style hat or the full on crazy style hat, which is, got the regular with the, that's Velcro. Okay. That's Velcro. On this one though, it's, the little snapback adjustable, right? So whichever one you want the ventilated stuff or you want the other, you get a choice. So you get the hat and these other items. So let me get them put over here. And I wanted to do something I never do, which is to talk about my website, LuvThemKnives.com. Check it out. There are knives coming in. Now, there are knives coming in all the time. There's knives going out all the time. And there are pricing changes being made all the time. I get sometimes maybe 2 emails a day and sometimes 5 emails a day from different sellers saying, please lower the price of this Demco AD 20.5 to blah, 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 and lower this WE knife to blah, 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 and, do that. Never tell me to raise the price, but always to lower. So prices are coming down of knives that have sat in stock for a while. And new knives are coming in all the time. And you can participate. I think some people get the idea that you got to be a Patreon member or something to do this. No, you don't. You can be anybody. I'd say the majority of sellers are not Patreon members. But it pays to be a Patreon member at the $10 a month level. Okay, and you can get a whole year's subscription and you get a discount. So you don't even pay $10 a month, right? But here's the thing. 2 knives per month, okay, per month, you send in, you're a $10 Patreon member, 2 knives per month have no seller fee. Now, seller fee, 10% is the seller fee, okay? So I take the seller fee off. You still have to pay the 4% credit card processing and whatever it costs to ship to the new owner because all my knives are sold with free shipping. No tax unless you live in the state of Florida, then you get charged tax, okay? So when you order a knife from my site, you don't pay shipping. And if you're not a Floridian, you don't pay tax, all right? So that's it. Now, if you are a Patreon member and I mean, I've got some that send me 2 knives a month. Okay. They pay $10 a month at worst, right? And then, let's see, if you had like a $200 knife and a $300 knife, 10% of that would be $50, right? But so you're just paying a 4% plus the cost of shipping to the next guy. That's all you're paying. Okay. I mean, I don't understand why I don't have like 500 Patreon guys doing that, but okay. Um, but, and I've got sellers, most of them are not Patreon members. And I think they just think I'm going to send in some knives to sell and that'll be it. But to tell you the truth, they tend to repeat and repeat. Even these non-Patreon guys will continue to repeat sending knives and selling knives. And I pay the sellers through Zelle or Cash App. I want to pay them electronically online. And I pay them at the end of every month. And usually I start doing payouts on the 27th or 28th. And I'm done by the end of the 29th, usually. So, no, I don't wait till the 30th or 31st necessarily. So, you get paid once a month. And so, I've got guys that'll send me a box of 20 knives or more, you know. And so, yes, I mean, so thank God I get some fees off of, especially if they're a Patreon member, off of the other 18 knives. But the two top, it's a great deal. I think, I mean, I can't imagine anybody having lower fees. I don't know how anyone would do it for less money. And everybody tells me I'm not charging enough. Now, you know, I got to pay shipping supplies. I've got ink. I got to buy labels. Either, replace my printer here or there. I've got all kinds of costs. And I've got to pay gateway fees, interchange fees. I got to pay a 1% on my sales to my Shopify. So it's 3% for processing, but 1% of my sales is charged just for owning my website. And then I have an annual fee too, and I don't pass that through. And that costs like $1,200. Okay, there's another $100 a month. So there's a lot of costs involved. But I try and keep it inexpensive for people. But regardless, USPS keeps raising their costs and all that. But if you want to sell knives through my website, fine. Now, if you want to sell them yourself on Blade Binge or something like that, that's fine. But you got to take your picture. You got to do the listing. You got to ship it to the person who bought it. And, whether you know that they're a stand-up guy or whatever, or the seller is or whatever. So here, I'm the middleman. They don't get the knife shipped until it's already bought through a credit card and that has cleared and it's done, And so you're in good stead, right? So that's protection. And you don't have to sit down in a photo booth or something, take pictures, do the posting, the description and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, if you want to do it yourself, then you can do it. Except I think you're even going to pay more money on eBay. I think it's 10%, not counting. They charge tax now, and there's other fees and stuff. And the money doesn't go to you; it goes to eBay, and then after some time, they transfer it to your account. So I think they cut PayPal out of there somehow. It's not like it was in the older days, but it was never inexpensive. So think about the website, checking it out. I mean, when knives come in, like if I just did a drop of knives like on the 20th of the month, I probably won't do another drop until the end of the month, like the 31st. So it could be almost 2 weeks between drops. So your knives, when they get here, are not going to go directly on the website because of another thing, which is maybe important for you to know as well. If you're a $10 a month or just even a $5 a month Patreon member, when I post new knives, I send the list and the links to Patreon. and they have a full 24 hours before it goes public. So they have the inside track on new knives that are being posted on my website. That's part of their perks of being a Patreon member. So, I mean, that's not all my Patreon members send me knives to sell. The other part of them are just interested in getting the jump for grabbing knives that are probably priced too low. I don't call the prices, okay? You sell your knives on my website, you tell me how much you want to charge. But if you send me knives to sell, another thing, and I do have a script, I will email you if you email me and inquire about selling knives on my website. I will email you back the spiel, which will say, please give me a list. Email me a list so I can cut and paste it on your account. So I develop an account for every seller. I will have the list of knives on their account so I can go back and reference what they've got, how much they want to sell it for, and any additional information they have on the knife, like, oh, well, there's a snail trail by the pivot, or, you know, the blade's a bit off center, or this or that, or it was used and carried, or never used or carried, or any of that. So that's important for you to understand if you're going to send knives to me, because I don't always catch everything when I take them out of their boxes and take pictures and process them. I don't always catch everything. So I leave it to the seller. I trust the seller to try and alert me to any issues with the knife, because these are pre-owned knives. Many of them have been opened up, fidgeted with, put back in a box, and on to the next, you know. So many of them are pristine, okay? But some, no, have been used, and there's some that don't have a box with them, okay? But they may be like new, but they ain't got no box. Or they could be used and scratched and whatever. That's very unusual, but it you know, it's okay, it's possible. And so there's that. So you send me knives, it's not so important that you include a list in the box. It's more important that you email me with the list, and that way I can just cut and paste that. If it's on a piece of paper in the box, and that's the only way I get your list, I got to retype the whole thing into my computer, which takes a lot of time. So it's easier if I could just get it in an email and transfer it over. So there's that. So website, you know, check it out. It's growing. I'm trying to now do a little mailer out to everybody who's bought or has an account on the site. To every time I do a drop, I will send out an email saying, hey, I've got a new group of knives I just dropped. I've just started doing that. So there's that. So you will get a notification if you have an account on my website or you have bought. And if you're going to buy a knife on my website, it's good to open an account and put your pertinent information there. You know, just like I do everywhere. I mean, I've Knife Center, Blade HQ, White Mountain Knives, you name it. I've got, you know, Knives Plus, whatever. I've got an account and my name and my data and all that stuff. Okay. Makes sense. So, you know, just do that and save yourself time and headaches and stuff. Because a lot of times, if you don't, and then you order a knife, you may not get a notification of your order because you never gave your email address. Okay. And there's people all the time. It's like, hey, I didn't get a notification. Did you ship it? And it's like, yeah. And then I check their order and I see that they never put in an email. So hard for us to email you a confirmation on your order if you don't give us an email. So there's that as well. So, all right, I've got, I want to move on because I got other things to do. And we're going to get to a 50K giveaway here really soon. So probably within the next 4 weeks, we're going to do a 50K giveaway. And it's just great because Petrified Fish notified me a couple of months ago saying, we see you're coming up on 50K. If you're going to do a giveaway, we'd like to be involved. And they've sent me like, I don't know how many knives, 10 or 12. And they said, here you go. And it was like before Atlanta even. So I've had those knives for several months now. And then We Knives, Civivi sent me a couple. I think they sent me a Sencut and a Civivi and QSP, Bestech, uh, Tatcom. I mean, just a bunch of different people have sent knives for the giveaway. So it's going to be a huge giveaway. And I think I'm going to have 12 winners. But each winner's going to get a pile, not just a single knife. It's going to be some stuff. Okay. So look for that to happen. I'll try and put an announcement on my Facebook and Instagram, even though, anybody who's doing knives on a regular basis on Instagram, you're shadow banned. You probably are. You probably don't know how to check to know you are, but you probably are. I didn't know I was until Leon says, here's what you do. You go down here, blah, 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 and look down there. And then you see it. Some of your stuff cannot be recommended, blah, blah, blah. You are limited. So you do these postings thinking new people will find you and see you. No, they won't. No, they won't. If you already follow that person, you'll see their new posts. If you don't already follow them, you won't see their new posts. This is part of the wokeness that is crushing us on Instagram and probably defunding us on YouTube as well. Probably. I've just heard from a lot of different YouTubers saying their AdSense money is dropping, their subscription of new subs is dropping, all this kind of stuff. So, unfortunately, this is the way the world's going, and it's not good for people who are enthusiasts, but we're not enthusiasts about knitted doilies or whatever, quilting or that kind of stuff. No. So if it's about guns, knives, anything a guy likes, I guess toxic masculinity is out the window or trying to be pushed out the window. So there you go. Okay, but 50K giveaway coming up. Put your comment down underneath here to get in. I'm pointing at the goods down here to get in this new drawing. And please, Mr. Pickering, email me and give me your address and I'll send you your prize package. And Leon will be back sometime. Maybe he'll be in on this next one that I'm doing. But think about the website, LuvThemKnives.com. And there are all kinds of filters on there. Okay, just think about when you go on and you click on it, there's a menu and you can look at on sale now or new arrivals. The problem is pre-owned and new arrivals are almost the same list, unfortunately. And it's just a lot of extra effort to go into new arrivals and unclick the boxes. But when you go in to new arrivals or whatever, the ones that are in stock will be on top. When you page through so many pages and you start seeing sold, there is an app I have that pushes the sold down to the bottom and lets the unsold ones at the top. So that's intentional so that you don't sit there and log in or click one of the menu items and see as many sold as you see, for sale. No, the availables will be first. And then as you go back, yes, then you'll run into the sold and that'll be all the rest. And, technically maybe I should just, if they're all sold, just delete them from the thing. And I'll probably have to start updating my website pretty soon and deleting a lot of the old stuff. But I leave them there, and I've had some guys say, please leave them because they want to go in and see if they could type in the name, and it may be sold, but it may be something they need data on. Like, oh my God, this is a discontinued Spyderco, and I was just interested. How long was it, or how much it weigh, or what it look like, or you know what I'm saying? So I have kept them there, but they're being pushed down and only the availables. But the other filters on there are important, like in stock only, or you can look at newest to old. So the ones that are the newest that have been added will be first, and then as they age, but it'll be of the in stock items. So you can choose in stock, newest arrivals to older, or older to new, or higher price to lower price, or lower to higher. So you've got a lot of filters there you can work with when you browse the site. Okay, or you can just type Spyderco in if you're looking for a Spyderco knife or whatever. So however you want to do, but I get messages from people sometimes. It's like, how come this and this? And I go, oh, pick in stock only, pick newest to old, or whatever they're trying to get to. And they go, oh, I didn't even realize the filters there that I could choose. So, and most sites have filters of some sort like that. So mine's no different, but I am proud of the site. I think it's just as quick to load and to function as almost any other retail site online. It's pretty nifty. And so check it out. No, I don't have like 10,000 knives. I kind of wish. That's why I'm saying send your knives in if you want to sell them. Okay. But then if that happens, I don't know. I mean, I may, slow down on the reviews because I'm checking in so many knives. And it's not something you can get somebody off the street to just do. I mean, you got to have some degree of knowledge about knives to process them in. I mean, you could take pictures of knives and sit them on the table, but to arrange them in inventory and to be able to put them actually into the website, because a lot of people are very cryptic about the descriptions they give you when they send you a knife. They'll go, Spyderco PM2, I want 125 for it. But they won't say it's a DLT trading exclusive. They won't say the color of the scales. They won't tell you what the blade steel is. They won't tell you if it's lightly used or like new. They won't, you got to do some stuff and you got to know kind of what you're looking at. So it's kind of a specialty thing. I'm trying to figure out how I could eventually, if I needed to, get somebody to help out in certain aspects. Maybe the shipping, take that off my shoulders, and other things like that. So it's a good thing. I'm trying to train my wife up on it, and she's learning. So that's a good thing. All right, I'm going to let you go. Have a good one. Have a great weekend. And we do. We love them knives. So you guys stay sharp.